Hey Bikeaholics, Ryan Urlacher here, lawabidingbiker.com. Thanks for checking in. Of course, you know, on this channel, YouTube channel, our website, we do a ton of motorcycle related videos. That's really our niche. Of course, as law-abiding bikers, many of us practice with, train, and carry firearms. We really appreciate our right to bear arms. I have done firearms videos in the past here on this channel. Got a lot of good feedback, and so whenever possible, when I get something new for my rifle or something I'm changing or my pistols or anything like that, I try to give you guys a video, and that's what I'm doing today. So this is my rifle that I carry on a day-to-day basis, AR-15. For a long time, it takes me a lot when I see something new. I'm not a kind of guy that just goes out and buys new stuff for my rifle all the time. I kind of have it set up the way I want it, and I don't want to make it too heavy and put too much stuff on it. I've ran this EOTech, you know, and I'm not going to talk completely bad about the EOTech. It's an industry, you know, it's a staple of the industry for red dot sights, widely used, and it's a very hardy sight. But so I've had it for years. There are some drawbacks to it. It's my personal opinion. Go out there and search around and find other people's perspective on it, because everybody has different reasons for the sights they choose. And whatever their particular mission is or what they do for a living. So we have a lot, when I'm instructing out on the range, a lot of guys running EOTechs, and I absolutely have no problem. I could have kept running that, of course, and I have. But something caught my eye, a new sight finally on the market. It's not completely new right now. I'm just getting around to doing the video and actually picking one up because I've seen such good reviews about it and the price point. And that is, I'm going to switch out this for the new Trijicon MRO, and that's the one I'm going to put on right now, and I'm going to start using it. I've practiced with them a lot, and some of our guys are carrying them, and so I kind of fell in love with that sight and like a lot of things about it. So let me tell you why I'm switching from an EOTech. I'm going to keep this EOTech. I have another rifle that I keep, multiple rifles in and around the house and stuff. I'm actually going to use this. I'm still not going to get rid of my EOTech because it's still a great sight. I'm going to throw it on one of my older rifles because it currently only has iron sights on it. So I will put this EOTech on that. I'm very excited, and that is, in this box I have the new Trijicon MRO. I went with LARUE Tactical is what I got, because I also got a QD, a quick detach sight mount for it. I wanted that quick detach on it, and LARUE Tactical had the MRO, the Trijicon MRO, and the quick detach, which are really solid quick detach. I think I got it, in fact I know I got it for $493. They have a package over there, and of course I'll have links in the description below to the exact products I'm going to talk about. You can get them on Amazon and other places too, but that's what I got, why I went with LARUE Tactical. So $493 for the kit, the quick detach, the Trijicon MRO, and then it was like $10 shipping on top of that. So just a little over $500 for that package. We're going to unbox this and go through it. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the MRO and some of the reasons I went with it. We'll get to that in just a second. So some of the things about the EOTech over the years, I've used it for many years now. All right, so when you all know, if you use an EOTech, when you're looking in, you're getting not just one red dot. You're getting a red dot in the center, and then you've got an outer ring around the outside of it. And so, you know, that works. Some of the things I found over time that I didn't like is at a little farther distance, because you have that ring around the outside and that dot in the middle, when you're shooting back a little farther, it really starts to fill your target, and it's harder to decipher for more accurate shooting at a distance. I know there's people that will argue with that, and that's fine. That's just my personal opinion. And I really just wanted a sight with just one red dot, and the MRO is a 2 MOA red dot, and I really like that. I never went and bought an aim point, although I like the aim points. There's no way I'm going to fork out that kind of money for an aim point. And I believe the MRO has some advantages, which again I'll talk about when we're going to mount it to the rifle, and I'm going to go through it with you guys. But that's one of the disadvantages to me. Especially at night too, when you're shooting in the dark and you got a flashlight down on your target or whatever, and that's the only light you have. This really that ring and everything really starts to muddy up your target. Up close, no problem, but as you get back, I found that that's one of the things I don't like about this. The other thing, it's really bulky, and the MRO is so much smaller and sleeker and much sexier, I think. These EOTechs are just big, bulky sights. You can see the size of it on this rifle, you know, and when we get that MRO up on there, you'll see the difference in how big it is, and still has all the functions, and I think some better functions. The other thing about the EOTech for my line of work I really don't like it, is it's frustrated me for years, is I work longer than 8-hour shifts, and I need to have my red dot on all the time. I don't have time to, if I get in a situation, to jump out and have to dick with these dials on the back of the EOTech that you guys are familiar with, up and down buttons, and try to adjust that brightness just right. What I have to do is, when I'm ready to go to work, is I have to turn that up to my desired setting, get it all dialed into where I want it. Then once I do that, the rifle's ready to go for the rest of the day for me, except at 8 hours, this thing goes off to preserve battery. Now, it is nice because these sights just take the regular AA batteries in the compartments there. So for that reason, it's very nice. So you can use, you know, batteries you have around the house. They don't last very long. When I'm running this every day, when it's on, you know, maybe a month, I get out of those batteries and it starts to go dead. And so what I was saying is that 8 hours it goes off, and then I have to remember sometime, and it's hard to always remember, that I need to reach back and click it back on and get it adjusted again to the desired setting. And that's just a real pain. I'm always switching out batteries on it, and it goes off on me. And that's different than the MRO, where one battery, a little battery, lasts 5 years. You can leave that thing on. So, and it doesn't just go off on me. So that's one of the things. The other thing, just the awkwardness of getting these buttons and reaching up in here and trying to hit these buttons and turn it on and off. And then especially if you want it manually turn it off, you got to try to hit both buttons at the same time. And it's just awkward getting my fingers, especially when you have something like, you know, a rear flip up sight like so. That's why this is kind of in the way for me. And so just getting those buttons is just awkward. You know, with the MRO, it's got the nice dial, ambidextrous dial, so it doesn't matter whether you're right-handed or left-handed, it's right on top. And you can make the appropriate adjustments right there. And again, I can just leave it on. I don't have to be worrying about changing batteries all the time. And just the form factor too is the reason I talked about too, is just the bulkiness of this. And then of course, just that one dot. I've shot a lot of aim points, and I've now been lucky enough to practice with the MRO, and just that 2 MO8 one dot right there is just super clean, and really like that. So that's just some of the reasons. Again, I know there's lots of opinions out there. You have to do what's right for you, and whether you're just personal home defense or whether you actually carry a rifle at work every day like I do, whatever your particular mission is. For me, I really feel like when the MRO came out at much cheaper than the aim point, yet to me does everything that the aim point does, and I think it's better, especially which I'll unbox it and I'll talk about the field of view on the objective field of view, which is very much similar to this, where an aim point you're really more looking like, it looks like you're looking down a tube and stuff. So for the price point and to get everything in an aim point and better, to me it was worth actually finally reaching out and buying an MRO and finally replacing this EOTech. So let me unbox it. Let's get it mounted and talk a little more about it. So here we are. Let's unbox this Trijicon MRO red dot sight. And of course I got the LARUE tactical quick detach. Let's get into this thing. I saved this just for you guys. All right, here we are. Get that paper out of the way here. Oh, look at that. LARUE Tactical sent me a hat. Rub on meats and cook. Dillo dust. And of course the actual Trijicon MRO. Can't wait to get in this plastic case. I'll set this here. Get this stuff out of here. So there you go. That came in the box with it. Wasn't expecting that. LARUE Tactical Entry Tool. All right, cool. And of course I actually did order this. And this is the actual quick detach. The LARUE Tactical Quick DETACH that I ordered, guys. So that came, and it comes with some extra parts. And then, of course, we got all kinds of pamphlets and some stickers. All right, first is the, again, like I say, the quick detach LARUE tactical. And I ordered that in this package. And then we've got some tools and stuff that it comes with and some hardware. We'll get to mounting this to my AR-15 in a moment. But that did come with it. I'll set this aside. All right, the actual Trijicon MRO comes in a nice plastic case. Get that opened up, and right on top, foamed well for protection, of course. Nothing underneath the top there is the actual Trijicon MRO. Man, feels good to hold that thing. I've messed with them, but they've always been on rifles, so I've never actually got to handle it off the rifle like this. It feels solid. Good, just very, very light, which is cool. And just look how sexy that is compared to the big bulky EOTech that I'm replacing. Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit more about this. I'll set the actual sight aside there. And we've got, of course, looks like some goodies in here. We've got a cool Trijicon cleaning cloth for cleaning the lens and all that. And then, of course, instructions, Trijicon stickers, pamphlets, all that good stuff you can expect. Make sure there's nothing else under this piece of foam. Nope, that's it. So, handy little box. These are always nice to have because I put all kinds of other stuff in it. Little storage box. All right, so here it is, guys. Let me go over it just a little bit with you. All right, so first of all, let's talk about, I like this. It makes it super simple when it's mounted to your rifle. You've got your windage over here adjustments, and they're recessed a little bit, so they're not going to get accidentally adjusted. You could use a, casing or, a little tiny screwdriver or whatever you have to adjust that. Your windage over there, and it tells you right on the back, right, or I guess it just has right, so the other way's left. And then, of course, right here on top is your same kind of dial, is your actual elevation. So windage on the side, of course, and elevation up top there, and it tells you, again, which way is up. It's recessed. Super simple. And this is a one-click, 1/2 MOA. And the nice thing about this, I know it seems simple, but I'm constantly out at the range instructing, and we're trying to sight rifles, and every rifle is a little bit different, and a lot of them hide it behind caps, and that's what I like about this. No junky caps on it and stuff. It's just ready to rock and roll at all times. So it says right here, that's nice, because I always have to ask guys, and a lot of guys forget what their, whether it's a 1/2 click MOA. It's written right there, right on the side at all times, so I never forget. Actually, on my EOTech, I had it in a notes application, so I always remembered what it was on my EOTech. So, the little things, that's very nice, stamped Trijicon there. And again, this feels really solid, but yet very, very light. So I like that about it. All right, let's move up. Of course, the back glass there is smaller than the front. And that's what I like about this. It's got this wider objective. It's got a wide objective field of view. And in fact, it's a 1x25 field of view on this side. So you've got this side and then the objective here. And so it gives you more of that, not so much like you're looking down a tube like the aim points. It gives you more of that, again, just that wide field of view, more of that EOTech type feel, which is what I'm coming from right now. You'll notice in there the glass, I'm going to try to get you an angle of this. It's not broken. It actually, you can see, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's kind of at an angle. The glass, it doesn't seem straight in there. I'm just going to move this around to see if you guys can get a good angle of that. But the glass isn't completely straight in there, and that's just the way it's built. That's normal, so don't worry about that. But just in case you notice that when you first get it, it looks a little awkward if you look at it in there and the glass isn't straight. All right, and this is another thing I really, really fell in love with this sight on, is how easy up top here your adjustment is. And again, it's on top, so it's ambidextrous, whether you're shouldering it left or right-handed. I don't like the buttons on the EOTech, and there's some other manufacturers making the push buttons. I don't like that. It's not a gross motor skill out in the field, and I want a very nice big dial right in front. I can look in here, you know, look in here and right up, and I can see exactly, you know, where my particular settings are for the red dot brightness. And so you've got some positions we'll talk about here. This is actually your off position, that dot right there. And again, it's right in line with your eye. So you just look right up and see that it's off. Of course, I'll turn mine on. The first is night vision. Okay, night vision low, night vision high. You're gonna have to have night vision gear to probably even see that at all. I won't be using those. And then you've got levels, and you've got 1, 2, and then this is nice because a lot of the different sites you have to go all the way back around to go off, when I'm probably never even going to need to be over at night vision. And so mine, if I want to turn it off after shift, it's going to be right there off, because I'm pretty much working days, and I know that 3 or 4 in daylight right now, just messing with it is probably going to be good for me. And then after shift, I can go boom, boom, turn it right off. It makes it super simple for me just to see it up there, see it's off, 1 click on, 2, and of course, with this particular, it's this battery in here, it's supposed to last up to 5 years, which I'm just stoked about that I probably will just leave this thing on like all the time, even when I, you know, throw it in the house for the night or something. Just there's no reason I need to be turning it off and on, and that's just nice that it's always ready to go for me. So there's your adjustments. I will tell you that the one thing, the only one drawback, and I don't really think it's a drawback, but I do want to, you know, it's an honest review. I like this sight all the way up until about 4. I like it even, and it's fine, 5 or 6, I've shot on it with both, but you will, once you hit 5 and once you hit 6, you're going to start getting some blooming in there. And it's nothing, unless you're really anal, that's, you know, gonna mess with you. I don't think it's gonna mess up your, it doesn't seem even in bright sunlight to mess up my target at all. It's still that 2 MOA, but you are gonna get some blooming around it. So just wanted to make you guys aware of that. So I will turn that back to there. Let's talk about the top here. This is where your battery goes. And I just got a screwdriver here. Of course, you could use a coin or anything like that to get the top of. This actually came in the box. I thought the battery came separate, but it didn't. This actually, the battery was already in it. I immediately turned it on because I didn't see a battery. And of course, right in there, I'll set that there for now. Right in here is, that is a small battery. You know, that EOTech takes 2 AA's, and I was having it on every shift, and it was only lasting a month. This little Sony CR2032 battery is what that is. 5 years out of this, guys, for that red dot. And that, to me, I mean, just the size. It's sealed, it's water sealed. It's got a rubber O-ring on there, so you're good to go as far as that goes. You don't have to worry about it. It goes like so, and then right back in. And so that is probably one of the most exciting things to me. And you know, the aim points do that too and stuff. They'll last for years and years on a battery. Just something, when I got that EOTech, I wasn't really thinking about a whole bunch. And like I say, now that I've used that for years, I was ready to switch to something like this. So, all right, so pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go through it. If you want to know what I got exactly, there it is. This is a LARUE Tactical LT 839 Trijicon MRO lower 1/3 co-witness QD mount. And so that's the exact one I got. It came with all this stuff. It comes with the Allen wrench to get it mounted, all the little bolts. This is another adjustment tool we'll get to. It came with a little thing of blue Loctite. And so the way this goes is pretty simple. It'll just mount, and there's 4 holes in that, of course. And you can see the 4 holes there. We gotta line them up and decide what we're doing here. Go on that side, my QD quick detach. And then you gotta get up, down in here. There we go, got our blue Loctite. Probably the easiest way here is get this through like so, at least get one started. I'll go right down in there, right through the hole, come on up, and then I can at least see and get one of these started like so. There we go. I'm just going to get that started, and I am going to go around and get all 4 of these started now. Same method there. All right, and got the last one, so you can see up in there, Got all 4 in there now. So off with the EOTech here. All right, there we go. Okay, so here we are. Of course, the MRO on the LARUE Tactical QD, Quick Detach. And the way this works, let me actually set this rifle down for a second so you guys can see, is that's open actually. And so that's closed all the way. You close it, and once you close it, you push forward and that slides forward a little bit. Then to unlock it, you pull out, and then that opens it up so it's ready to go on the rail here. This is your choice, of course, based on your situation and how you want to set your rifle up. I like to run mine just a little bit farther forward, and I guess I'm at the T10 there mark. And then, of course, just rock it back forward, and that is lined up on there now. It does come with a tool, the QD, and there's a nut right on top here if you can see that. And this is the wrench for it, comes with it. You can certainly loosen that up, and then you can basically adjust this handle exactly how you want it. So some guys might want to adjust it. You can loosen that nut up and then figure out, then lock it back down so you could actually lock it on, and it could lock right there. So this is out a little bit more, you know, so you can grab it easier. I mean, really that's up to you. I personally like it straight up the way it came out of the box. Don't forget, push that forward, that locks it in place. Again, it comes with the tool. You get to adjust it how you want and where you want it on the rifle. That's what I'm gonna go with for now. I'm excited to get out. I'm gonna take this out here in the next day to the range and get some rounds underneath this thing and get it all sighted in. I'm super stoked for that. All right, guys, so out at the range and gonna sight this Trijicon MRO in. I've got it right now on about, well, I do have it on 5, so it's a nice bright sunny day, and I'm finding out that 4 or 5 on the intensity level of the red dot is just about right for a really, really bright day like this. All right, guys, so out of the box, I'm about 9 inches low and about 2 inches left, so I'm gonna make the necessary adjustments. And remember, it's nice on this sight right there. 1 click is a 1.5 inch MOA, so every click is about a 1/2 inch. At 100 yards, I'm at 50, so I'll take that into account. All right, one thing, they're very fine clicks, so it's very easy to turn this. Be careful, you could really overdo it. You gotta really feel for the clicks, but not a huge deal, just it was a little easier than I thought it would be. But I made the adjustments, I'll see what I can do here. All right, see what that did. All right, so stoked about that. This is very accurate as far as adjustment goes. Some sites say they're, you know, so far per click. This thing is right on, let me tell you. I'm very surprised. I was low 9 inches, simply made the appropriate clicks, and I'm right on for elevation. I'm still off a little bit on windage. I'm gonna move it right just a little bit more, and I think I'm gonna be just dead on here at 50 yards. All right, guys, there you go. That's one sighted in MRO. Took me less than 5 minutes, so loving this thing. Now I'm gonna go combat shoot. All right, now we get to have some fun. Right on target, getting your rounds off. I'm really, really enjoying this sight, so definitely highly recommend it.